Welcome back to our shed project here in SketchUp for Schools. And we're going to be actually doing a little bit of switch with this particular episode, and we're going to take a look at SketchUp Pro simply because we're very limited in what we can do with SketchUp for Schools. So we can create scenes, and we've done that in our previous episode. We created our tags, we created our scenes, and we currently have 5 scenes that we can go through here and watch. We can have transitions and all of that. The main problem is that that's all we can do. We can't export this. We would have to actually show. We have to actually show this animation inside SketchUp for Schools if we were sending this to someone. All of that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to download our SKP file, which is your SketchUp file, and we're going to open that up in our SketchUp Pro, and we're going to take a look at how it looks from there, how everything translates over, and what ways we can go in here and save things inside SketchUp Pro. So start off with make sure that you have your scenes, make sure that you have our 5 different scenes. They go through here and showcase all 3 of our different braces, and then 2 additional scenes. Once you have all those, go over here to our 3 lines, and we're going to go to download, and we want to download the SKP file. Here, you'll tend to want to go back to 2020 for the most part. SketchUp for Schools is always going to be on the very latest version. So currently it will be in the one that just updated last week. And so if you have SketchUp Pro and you don't routinely update it, you will not be able to open it up if you download it and try to open it up from SketchUp for Schools. So be aware of that. Always just go down and click on 2020, and that will save it as that 2020 version. Because remember, with SketchUp, you're not able to open it up if it's on a version that is higher. So here we will go over to our SketchUp, open up our project, and this was what you will see when you first open our project up. We've already created our scenes, and so in SketchUp Pro you have our 5 different scenes up here along the very top, and we can click on those, and that will go and we will see each of those scenes. We're going to go ahead and change a few different things. So over here in our default tray, we do not see our outliner panel, so we want to actually bring that up. So if we go over to Window, Default Tray, this is where all of your different panels are. So we can check what we want and what we don't want. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off Instructor. I'm going to go ahead and turn on Outliner. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on Fog. And we can come over here and toggle those off. So that is how you can change your default tray. You can save that, create new trays, all of that. If we go over to View, we can go to Toolbars. This brings up our toolbar dialog box. Here we can check and uncheck all different toolbars that are available to us. Here we want to uncheck the Getting Started, and I'm going to go ahead and check the large tool set. I prefer having that large tool set instead of the Getting Started. That way we can go in here and we have all of the top available to us for additional toolbars. So what I like to have open is sections. This brings up and open our section toolbar, so we can really quickly create and display section cuts. You have your styles over here, tags over there. 3D Warehouse is down here at the very bottom. now, so we don't really need that one. Sandbox is something if you're doing a lot of landscaping, it can be helpful. Views is really helpful as well. And you can click on the little dotted lines and you can move these around. So those are ones I like. For our animation, if we click on our Scenes tab over here, you'll see all 5 of our different scenes that we've created. If you want to create more scenes, you can click on the little plus sign. That will add a new scene. If you want to delete one, you click on the minus, and this icon right here is going to update our scene. So for example, if I have this one right here, if I want more of an isometric view, I can click on that, and if I want updated, I need to actually click on that in order to update it. These are all the different properties that were available to us in SketchUp for Schools. So we're going to leave all of those checked, and we're going to go ahead and update. So now I can switch between this first one, and there is my second one. If we go up to View, we can go down to Animation, and this is our different options available to us. Again, you have your Add Scene, Update Scene, and Delete Scene. You can also toggle between Previous Scene and Next Scene. He also shows you the keyboard shortcut for that, which is Page Up and Page Down. You have Play, and then you have Settings. If we click on Settings, this brings up your model info, which can be found up here in your menu as well. This allows you to change your scene transition, similar to what we saw in SketchUp for Schools. We can check or uncheck the enabled scene transition. We can toggle that, how long it's going to take between getting from one scene to another. And then scene delay is how long it stays on that particular scene. To save our project, we're going to go over to File, Export, and here we can export it as a 3D model, 2D graphic, or an animation. And so for here, we want to export this as an animation. This brings you up here to where you want to save it to. So we can click Save It there. We can change your name of it. Here you can save it as a different file type. Again, we want this to be a movie, so we want to save this as an MP4. If you click on Options, this allows you to see how you're going to actually export this. So we have our different resolution. So you have Full HD, 720, etc. You got your frame rate, whether or not you want this to loop. So we're going to leave kind of all that by default. Go ahead and click OK, and then you go ahead and click Export. It will take time, depending on computer, animation, all that will be how long it takes. So we'll let this finish, and then we will open up our video. Really quick before we get into seeing our movie, one of the things that I forgot to mention beforehand is if we click on this little icon right here, this is our Show Details. This is all your different options that are available to you from just like what we saw in SketchUp for Schools. So if you're making several different scenes, again, you'll want to make sure that Include in Animation is checked. If that is not checked, then it will skip that particular scene whenever you're creating your animation. So if I uncheck this right here for the side view, whenever I come in here and play this animation, it's not going to play, it will not play that particular scene. So just be aware of that. That's where that is. You will need to click on this right here, and that will toggle that on or off. You also have your menu that has, again, all different options available to you in the view tool for view menu as well. Here, when we bring up our movie that we saved, this is how it looks. So again, it will go through all of our different scenes. And so that is how that's going to look. So thank you for watching this episode. If you are looking for more episodes, take a look at the channel. We go through SketchUp for Schools and SketchUp Pro and Revit.